Hi, I'm Brad Wood at Northwoods Falconry, and what I'd like to show you today is one of my favorite topics is gauntlets. And we have a whole table full of gauntlets that, they're part and parcel with falconry. And whether you have a Merlin or an Applomado or an eagle owl, you're going to want to use some protection on your hand. Although some of you may like pain, you don't need a gauntlet. But in most of our cases, male or female, we're going to want a gauntlet, and we're going to want it to fit well. So I'm going to go over some of the leathers that are used in gauntlets. You're going to select sizes to fit you, and then how to preserve them, how to preserve the leather non-toxically and make it last for years. So I also brought some of my heavily used gauntlets to show you and describe what happened to them or what I didn't do to them. And gauntlets can be expensive, $40, $100, and by most efforts, I like kangaroo leather if I can get it. It lasts the longest, and it prevents the talons from coming through the best, but it's a hard to get leather, and it doesn't stretch much, so it doesn't form as easily to your hand. So kangaroo is my favorite. I'll start over here. These are your full cuff gauntlet. This is a type of a cowhide, like a calf skin that's been brushed. The feeling is like microfiber almost, if you know what that is. It's very smooth. But the minute you put this on and you get some meat on it, it's going to dirty it up and make it get harder. And so the first thing you're going to want to do with any new gauntlet you get, it's a beautiful piece of clothing when you get it, and it's going to get real dirty real fast, especially if you're feeding birds on it or helping you dispatch a rabbit or something else. So the first thing you're going to want to do is get some kind of this is Jess grease, there's sheep lanolin. These can all be used on your gauntlet. This is Nurture Seal, wonderful stuff, has honey in it, like to eat it, and more Jess grease. So I just have a bottle of the Jess grease. Lanolin is very good too. It's kind of sticky. It's non-toxic. Comes out of the wool of a sheep, and you rub that in, and it works. Oh, you got to smell this stuff. This is why I like gauntlets. It is so tactile, and oh, look at this, Jess grease. Oh, that is like ice cream. If I just take I don't know if you can eat this. I haven't asked the originator, but I think it's all non-toxic, and that's almost like it put it on a glazed muffin or something and eat it. So I love that. And my favorite for smelling is Nurture Seal. Oh my gosh, honey. I like honey. And there's beeswax in here. Beeswax, propolis, it actually it kills bacteria. So it's a natural good thing on your leather, because you don't want it bacteria eating the leather of your gauntlet. So I get a new gauntlet. I'll show you on my old one. These are brand new gauntlets right here. So these are different colors of the cowhide. This one looks like kangaroo. And after doing this 50 years, I can touch the leather, smell it. I hope I'm right. And it's kind of hard to smell out here. It's so darn cold. But I think this is kangaroo. It's very thin. But kangaroo is top quality. You make your jesses out of it, your anklets, and boy, to have a gauntlet out of it, this will last a lifetime. It'll outlast the stitching in the gauntlet. Here's the best feeling is, here's a goat skin. Goat leather is as good or perhaps second to kangaroo. It is a strong, supple leather, and it wears for a very long time. I love goat skin. Let's see. I like them. I like the goat skin especially in this half cuff for falcons or small birds. Oh, the feel, and it's very tough. So I prefer I like the goat skin in the half cuff. Here's a triple layer goat skin, and I would select that for a big hawk. Here is a elk type leather. Oh, this is again the best feel. It's very supple and it fits your hand beautifully. You want to wear it to bed, but it is a soft leather, and a big angry owl or a red-tailed hawk if this isn't thick enough, it can go through it faster than other leathers. But I prefer this, and I use it with my Harris hawks, red-tailed hawk, gyrfalcon, and if they're thick enough, they won't puncture. Here's a couple of heavily used elk. The talons kind of rip up the outer surface of the leather, makes it look gross. But I'll tell you, putting one of these on, oh, the feel. That is just fits my hand. It looks terrible. And I would take some of this. I haven't dressed this for a couple of years, so I'd take some of that. Oh yeah. And smear it on, rub it in. And then, that's not good enough though. I'm gonna rub that all over. I'll take my time, watch TV or talk to someone, you're another falconer, falconess, rub a lot in there, and then I'm gonna go, I'm gonna sneak into the bathroom and I'm gonna take my wife's hair blower right here. Now, people still use these, but you gotta make sure you put it back, and or your husband's hair blower. And you're gonna put that, turn it on, and at point blank, what you're doing is melting that grease or the oil into the leather. It goes into the leather. If you don't do that, if you don't use heat, it's just gonna rub right off. In a week, it's gone, because it's only on the surface of the leather. I also will take a whole bunch of gauntlets, or one, put it on a cookie sheet, and put it in the oven on the lowest temperature. Don't let it stay there. If you put it on, you'll smell it. You don't want to put it in your microwave and try to cook it. And often your gauntlet might have a metal clip. You don't want to put that in a microwave. So you can put your whole gauntlet at low heat in an oven for a couple hours. Same thing as the hair blower. And it will heat the grease up and go right in and be in there for a year or two. I don't dress my gauntlets except maybe once a year, right when I get them. If you do not dress one of these spanky new gauntlets, when you first get it, the first blood or juice, meat juice to touch it, it's just going to go right into the leather, and it can go in there and it makes the leather very stiff, kind of like glue. So take that pretty gauntlet, it'll change this color, light brown, to dark brown, but you'll be preserving the life of that gauntlet fivefold by oiling it well with Jess grease or lanolin or Nurture Seal. I don't use any petroleum distillate like that might be used on hiking boots or other leather boots for outdoor use, because the bird's eating on your gauntlet, and it might get some residue chemical that's going to kill it or make it sick. So you want to make sure you're using something with natural ingredients, and every one of these, to my knowledge, is all natural. So great stuff. You can probably put it on your hand. This is great. When your hands are chapped, I don't know about your lips. Gee, wouldn't that be something? You're kissing your significant other, and they're going, "Wow, I like that." And it's just, what is it? Well, it's a special Jess grease. They'd love that. I think they'd just get off. Oh, I love it. Oh, that's just good stuff, and I know it's natural. So that's what I do with those. The other thing is, Obviously stitching is going to last hopefully the life of the gauntlet. These gauntlets are 5 to 10 years old. I still use them. I have, just like hoods, I'll have several and keep them greased. I like all of my gauntlets with a French snap or another type of clip of your choosing. The French snap, and this one is frozen, it won't open. And I'll tell you what to do. But the French snap is plated with zinc, and over time it will rust. And when it rusts, it seizes up and won't open. So you take a little bit of oil, maybe even some just grease, or I use WD-40, and right at this joint, spray it on, and boom, it's working again. So it needs the rust makes it stay shut. We're going to show you how to put one on. Goes on to the D-ring on your gauntlet. So that one, let me see if I can find one that's working. Aha! This one's a little rusty. When you buy a gauntlet, these don't normally come on. You want to either buy them with it on, or you can put them on yourself. It's just about a 12-inch piece of kangaroo or cowhide leather. And there's the French snap that's made in Germany for a dog snap, to hold a dog. And the jaws have a little tooth, a serration, so that it doesn't easily pull out. So you can hook up to your bird without the leash, hang a bunch of leash. You can have a short little cord, and you want it pretty short because you don't want your bird coming up through it and hanging itself through that loop. So you keep it pretty short. You can hook them up really quick, and I have this on every gauntlet I have, because when you're in the field, you can hook to the end of a jess, you can hook to the swivel, hook to the anklet. I don't fly with jesses on most of my falcons, because it looks like the jesses look like meat, and if I have a bald eagle in the area, it might chase my falcon thinking it's meat. And so I take the jesses out, but I'll hook this in to secure the bird to my fist. And there's many jokes told where so-and-so forgot to undo that, takes the hood off the falcon and releases it, and falcon just boom, pulls up against the cord because it didn't get released. And I won't mention names, and I've done it myself. So you can embarrass yourself that way. But this, so the French clip is, most gauntlets come with a D-ring nowadays that you can tie your leash to, you can tie your jesses to. I use it for the French snap. And so these are again gauntlets that I've had over the years, many of them many years old. And I've met people that bought Northwood's falconry gauntlets, and they say, "Well, I've had it for 15 years, Brad, and I need a new one." And I'm thinking, wow, I'm going to go out of business. We're going to go out of business if people just buy them every 15 years. So what I should be telling you is, don't dress your gauntlet, don't do this, and it'll only last you a year. But I'm sharing these secrets with you so you don't have to be spending a lot of money every year. The other thing is, all of this is in this DVD about the basic falconry equipment. It shows you how to do this with your gauntlets, and about all the other basic falconry equipment. So we're just touching on things right now. So I'm going to take a second here to get my equipment together so I can show you how to put the French snap on. And one last thing, I just looked over here. I have my gauntlet dryer. This is a boot dryer, and you can take a gauntlet that you've gotten wet, or you washed it with, if I have a lot of meat and blood on there, I'll wash it in the sink. I don't use soap, warm water, and then it gets it all wet, and then I'll put it on my boot dryer like that. So you can put 2 of them on there at once. Try not to forget them. I think this one, see, it almost burned down on me the other day. They're meant to, it's a real low heat to put your boots on. And boy, that'll dry your gauntlet out, and when you put that on, it's warm, ready to go outside. And so this is a way to dry your gauntlets slowly after you have washed them or put the oil on them. This would also help the oil stay in them. So I'd like to take a break and we'll look at putting the French snap on the gauntlet.